The Fool's Journey Through the Suit of Wands. Having journeyed his way through all of the major arcana cards, the Fool now decides to take a break from all this and heads out for a nice little walk. However, it would seem that the tarot has got other ideas. What's going on?
Welcome to the land of wands, Fool. This is the realm of will, desire, and passion.
Well, I must say it's a bit toasty.
Of course it is. We are in the fiery realm of absolute, the world of emanation. Shall we go somewhere a bit cooler?
Yes, please. Ow! You could have let me down gently. I think I've broken my groin.
Sorry about that. I'm just very keen to get started. God knows this video's taken long enough to make.
So, who are you then?
I am the Ace of Wands, a symbol of pure potential.
And where's the rest of your body?
That's a bit personal, isn't it? I represent your deepest desires and your will to achieve them. I am the potential of your spirit before it has manifested into anything. As the spirit of fire, I give you enthusiasm and drive, the will to bring great happiness into the world.
Well, I like the sound of that.
But I also have the power to destroy and tear the world asunder. I can bring whole nations to their knees.
Blimey!
I am a blind force, capable of both good and evil. No more, no less.
Ow! What was that for?
Blind force, remember? You can't blame me. Anyway, you are heading out on a new journey, Fool. It is time to reach into your soul and see what you truly desire. For yourself and for the good of all humanity.
Easy. I want my very own turnip farm.
Wow, dream no small dreams. Well, we'd better get started then.
The Fool heads off into the landscape and soon finds himself before a gentleman in deep thought, gazing out into the ocean with his back to us. How very rude.
Hello, my name's Alex. I'm the lord of this place. Everything you can see belongs to me.
Wow, very impressive. Although you're not looking too happy about it.
Yeah, my whole life all I ever wanted was 2 wands.
What for?
You know, waving it about and that. Haven't you ever tried it?
Not in public. What's the other one for?
A spare, just in case this one goes floppy. You need solid backup when you're a keen wand wiggler.
Okay, so you've got your 2 wands. What's the problem?
What comes next? I own all this land as far as the eye can see, and I've got 2 rock-hard wands to grab hold of. But I'm bored now.
At this point, the Fool and Alex are joined by another wand fancier, who also enjoys staring out to sea and standing with his back to us. Good manners cost nothing, you know.
Hello there. Just out for a wander and to see how my ships are getting on.
Wow, are those your ships?
They certainly are. I've sent them out in search of a very precious resource.
What's that then?
What is the one thing that you simply cannot be without?
Food? Water? A roof over your head?
Thubs.
Thubs? What the hell are thubs?
Gloves for your thumbs. I'm gonna be a millionaire. There'll be no more chilly thumbs when those ships come back loaded with sweet, sweet thubs.
Hang on a minute. You've got 3 wands. I want 3 wands.
Why? What are you going to do with the third? Actually, don't answer that.
Well, where did you get your other wand from?
I saved up coupons on cornflakes packets.
What, really?
Of course not. I got it from the palace. The King of Wands will grant you anything you desire if you can convince him. He's taking applications right now.
Right, so I need to see the king to get my turnip farm. With a newfound determination, the Fool moves one step closer to the promised land of amateur root vegetable cultivation. Soon he finds himself very far away from some women. Business as usual then. What? I can't hear you. I can't hear what you're saying.
Looks like we're going to have to go into the card for this one. Are you ready?
Pardon?
Ah, that's better. My name's Wanda, and this is my friend Willow.
We've just finished the harvest and now we're celebrating. Would you like a glass of delicious onion wine?
Oh, why not? So you grow vegetables here then?
Oh yeah, we're the biggest farm in all of Wanville.
Wow, you must really love vegetables.
I can honestly say that my favourite thing in the whole world is getting a firm, juicy eggplant inside me.
Oh my god, I think I'm in love.
Come, let me show you around. These are the beans, and over there is the bean farmer. Retired now. He's a has-been. Here are the cucumbers. Willow absolutely loves these. Her bedroom's full of them. This is where we grow the carrots. Look, there's a snowman picking his nose. This is the herb garden.
Wow, you've got so many. I don't know how you find the time.
Easy. It's over there next to the sage.
This is the best place I've ever seen in my life. It's like all my dreams have come true.
Why don't we go back to the castle and you can tell me all about yourself while I get out of these sweaty clothes?
I'd love to, but could you just show me the turnip patch first?
Oh, we don't grow turnips.
Ah, well, easy come, easy go.
Our young Casanova continues on his journey through Wandville. Soon he finds himself outside the parish office, together with a crowd of people trying to get inside.
What's going on here then? We've come to get our application forms to see the king. He's going to grant the deepest desires of 3 lucky people. Right, this is where I need to be. So is everyone trying to see the king? Yeah, I'm trying to get an extension on my outside toilet so 2 people can have a crap at the same time. Have you got a big family? No, I just like it.
My eyes burn hotter than the fires of hell. I shall ask the king for a new pair.
I need a new merkin. Me old one's crawling with fleas.
You know those loots that are like double loots?
Oh, for crying out loud. I'm never going to get to see the king. There's just too much competition.
Hey there! A little competition is a good thing.
Is it?
Of course it is. Competition spurs you on to work even harder. Look at me. If I wasn't competing against these idiots, I wouldn't have become the best hat wearer.
I beg your pardon. I think you'll find I'm the best wearer of hats around here.
Really? Where's your hat then?
All right, fair point. But it's just going to be too hard to see the king if everyone else is trying to see him too.
Anything that's worth doing is hard. That's the whole point. Where's the sense of accomplishment if things just drop into your lap?
Those other people should make you strive to work even harder. So what are you waiting for? You're right, I'm not giving up now. I'm going to go get an application form.
That's the spirit. Anyway, chaps, something's telling me this house we're building isn't going to stand up. Back to the drawing board, I'm afraid.
You going to see Willow tonight?
No, she's busy. She said something about cucumbers.
The fool walks back to the parish office and stands at the very back of the queue.
Oh no, this is going to take all day.
Suddenly, a man rides past on horseback and everyone rushes over to greet him.
Yay, it's Nicky Six, the hero of Wandville.
Hey everyone, it's great to be back.
Hi, Nicky. Can I touch your wand?
Of course you can. Go right ahead and put your hand round my wood.
So what have you been doing, Nicky?
I've been on an adventure, pushing me to the ragged edge of the human spirit.
Wow, did you slay a dragon?
No, they had a banquet at the palace last night, so I had to use my wand to unblock the royal lavatory.
At this point, the fool realises there's no one left in the queue.
Oh wow, look at that. They've all buggered off. The stars are aligning for me. Time to get a form before they all come back.
Hello, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like an application to see the king, please.
Sorry, we've run out.
Really?
Yes, but we'll be open for more applications when Mars is in conjunction with Uranus.
And when will that be?
About 57 years.
The fool leaves the office a broken man, his heart filled with sadness as he contemplates a future with no homegrown turnips in it. Truly heartbreaking stuff.
That's that then. It's over. Might as well head back to Kippy Towers.
As the fool finds his way back home, he comes across a determined-looking gentleman battling against some ne'er-do-wells.
You're not going to give up that easily, are you?
What's the point? The office isn't giving out any more forms until 2081.
So, you can't let a little thing like that put you off. Look at me. These arseholes have been trying to steal my treasure for the past 7 weeks.
Ooh, what treasure's that then?
Powdered egg. Can't get enough of the stuff.
Right. Anyway, I can't wait 57 years to get an application form to see the king. I may as well forget about it.
What's that? Application form? You can have mine. I don't need it now I've got all the powdered egg I can eat.
Really? I can have it?
Sure, it's over there by those boxes. Keep your hands off my powdered egg though, that's all mine.
Thank you so much.
No problem, you just need to fill it in and pop it into the palace before sunset.
Right, so where's the palace?
Over there by the setting sun.
What? But that's miles away. I'm never going to make it in time.
Just keep going and don't give up. Sometimes things happen when you least expect it. Like when I won all this powdered egg at bingo.
Oh, dibbity-dee, a pilot's life for me.
Was this something I said?
Suddenly the fool is gathered up by a flying tarot card and carried across the landscape.
What the hell's going on?
Welcome to 81's Airlines. Wherever you're going, we'll get you there fast.
Oh, fantastic. Could you take me to the palace, please?
No problem, we'll have you there in a jiffy.
Thank you. So what made you want to become a pilot?
To conquer my greatest fear.
What, fear of flying?
No, fear of dying alone. Anyway, we're near the palace.
Great, if you could just land over there.
Land? I'm not landing. You'll have to jump.
Jump? You must be joking.
Oh, come on. I'm sure you'll make an impact.
I can't jump. I'm absolutely terrified.
I didn't want to jump the first time.
How did you get over it?
My flight instructor told me that if I didn't, he was going to shove his fist straight up my arse.
Blimey, did you jump?
A little bit at first. Anyway, I can't hang around here all day. Off you go.
What?
The fool plummets through the air and promptly lands on a bandaged gentleman holding a wand.
Ow! What the hell? I'm having a bad enough time here without fools falling on me from the sky.
Sorry about that. I think that pilot must have a bad altitude.
Don't worry about it. It's not like you can make my life any worse than it already is.
Why? What's the matter?
It's been a long battle. I don't know how I've made it this far.
Well, what have you been battling against?
I need to build a fence around the palace, but these nails have got the heads on the wrong end.
Suddenly the hanged man appears. Must have been swinging through.
Hello there. Sorry, but I couldn't help overhearing your problem. I think you'll find the answer if you just turn everything around and see it from a new perspective.
Ah, you're right. I can see where I've been going wrong now.
Excellent. Happy to be of service.
Yeah, these nails must be for the other side of the fence.
Oh, for goodness sake.
As the fool approaches the palace, he comes across another gentleman carrying 10 wands and muttering to himself.
Stupid bloody ones. They can shove them right up there.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get into the palace, please?
You can't. The drawbridge is broken. That's why Muggins here is having to fix it with these wands.
Right, so you must be the odd job man.
I'm the every bloody job man. I clean the windows, polish the floors, clean out the latrine, and now the king wants me to watch The Office every night. I'm on season 5, but I can't see what it's got to do with anything.
You should try being an abacus. Everybody's counting on you.
But I really need to get into the palace before sunset.
You've got no chance. It'll take me until midnight to fix that drawbridge.
As the fool tries to figure out how he's going to get into the palace, the Page of Wands comes wandering past, looking rather lost.
Excuse me, I can't find my grandpa. Oh, don't worry, we'll find him. What's his name? Grandpa. All right, well, what's he like? Whiskey and big boobs. Whoa, what's with the fire lizard? Oh, that's just my pet salamander, Tiny. Why'd you call him Tiny? Because he's minute.
Suddenly, the Knight of Wands comes rushing over on horseback, frightening the living daylights out of the fool.
Ah, who are you?
I'm the Knight of Wands. They call me Surprise.
Hello, Knight.
What are you doing here, Page? You need to get back to the palace. Everyone's worried about you.
But I can't find Grandpa.
He's just got back from jousting. Went upstairs with the Guinevere's secret catalogue. Said he needed to polish his lance.
Look, I'm sorry, but I really need to get into the palace before sunset.
No problem. You can both get on the back of my horse. The knight rushes up to the palace and leaps clear over the wall with the fool and the page hanging on for dear life. It was so spectacular that Kippy couldn't figure out how to animate it.
That was incredible. It made me forget for a while that my eyes are literal burning flame.
Yes, I'm finally in the palace. Blimey, look at all these salamanders. I know, they breed like wildfire.
What's wrong with that one?
Oh, he's just suffering from burnout.
Right.
Anyway, I really need to see the king.
At this point, the Queen comes wandering past. Flaw!
Hello, darling. We're having a little soiree next door. Why don't you come and join us? There's lots of fat-bottomed girls. You might find somebody to love.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Will the king be there?
The love of my life? Yes, he'll be along shortly. He's just playing cards. We are the champions of poker around here. Ooh, sounds like he's just got a royal flush.
The fool and the Queen head into a royal party, but the Queen gets stuck in a doorway.
Help! Help! I want to break free! Ah, that's better.
So, where's the king then?
He'll be here shortly. Stop putting me under pressure.
The royal party is in full swing, but still there's no sign of the King of Wands.
Wah, wah, I just can't get to sleep.
Don't worry, we will rock you.
I'm really sorry, Your Majesty, but I've got to see the king before sunset.
Oh, look, here he comes behind that paper wall. I see a little silhouette of a man.
The king finally walks into the party and immediately gets into a long conversation with his mum. Hello, Mother. Did you come on the bus?
Yes, but I made it look like an asthma attack.
King, tie your mother down and come over here. This jester wants to talk to you.
All right, but he'll have to wait. I can only move one square at a time. The Queen waves her wand and suddenly the king appears right next to them in a puff of smoke.
Wow, how did you do that?
It's a kind of magic. Anyway, King, you're late.
Sorry, darling. I couldn't find my thubs. So, what's going on here then?
Your Majesty, I've come to give you my application form for a turnip farm.
Sorry, I'm afraid you're too late. I've already granted the deepest desires of 3 of my subjects.
Not quite what I had in mind, if I'm being honest.
Oh, come on. Let him have his farm. You're my best friend.
Oh, go on then, but that really is the last one. Anyway, that's the end of the party, everybody.
Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time.
The fool returns to Kippy Towers and finally gets to work on planting his beloved turnips.
So there it is. What do you think?
That's it.
Yeah.
The whole journey was for that.
Yeah, you can grow 3 at once.
Well, I'm sure you'll all agree that was a very worthwhile experience. If you'd like to find out more about the cards, we've made a full video about each one, where we talk about the history and the meanings in much more detail. Just time to say a big thank you to all the voice actors for lending their dulcet tones to this project, and a huge thank you to you for watching, supporting, and just being completely awesome in every conceivable way. Stay tuned for more of the Fool's antics, as next he'll be journeying his way through the Suit of Cups in part 3.
What was that?
Nothing.
Thank you for watching. If by some miracle you'd like to subject yourself to more of this nonsense, then please subscribe. May the coming days bring you everything your heart desires. Until next time.